Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Amber. This week, we're doing a reading vlog. I'm going to be doing this for about 5 days. It's technically really not this week yet. It's Saturday, but I'm starting it today because I really want to start Where's Molly by H.D. Carlton. And I wanted to start with this blog, but I really want to start this today, so we're starting early. But this is a spin-off to the cat and mouse duet, which is Haunting Adeline and Hunting Adeline. So I'm very excited to get into this. I had heard about this before it was released. I didn't even know that it had been released. I apparently did not write that down. But I saw somebody talking about this today. And I was like, okay, I need to download that. This one is on Kindle Unlimited, and it is only 221 pages, which is, I think, like half the size of both Haunting and Hunting Adeline. There are a lot of trigger warnings. If you don't feel like looking those up, I'll just put them here and you can pause the screen. And then also into the next page. I mean, that was kind of, I was expecting trigger warnings since it is a spin-off of the cat and mouse duet. But this one, you're following Molly, which I think she might have been briefly mentioned. And I don't even know if she was mentioned by name. I literally think it was like one sentence of talking about a girl that just disappeared out of thin air. So you're following that whole backstory, and she's been missing for 2 weeks now, and they still don't really have like a lead as to what happened to her, and she seems to have just completely disappeared out of thin air. Nobody has any clue what's happened to her. And it says, in my dreams, I never escaped the Oregon woods. Life after death isn't easy to accept, especially when I still feel like a ghost. Now I live deep in the mountains of Montana, the paradigm of beauty, but they are also the home of horrors. Horrors that I only unleash at night, when my pigs are allowed to feast. And then it also says that it's strongly recommended to read Haunting and Hunting Adeline first before reading this. So, I'm super interested to see where this goes because the description of that, I don't know what to expect. And I'm really excited for it. So I'm going to read this one first. Since it is only 221 pages, I'm hoping I finish this in like 2, maybe 3 days max. And then after that, I did start Bride by Allie Hazelwood like 2 days ago. I think I'm like 20%. I don't even know if it's 20% of the way through. I'm only on chapter 3. It might only be like 12% of the way through the book. So I might go into that one after, but I'm not positive. After we finish Where's Molly, then we'll decide if we're going to continue that or pick a different book. But so I wanted to give a little bit of a update on Where's Molly by H.D. Carlton. I'm on page 137, which is about 62% of the way through. I don't really know how I'm feeling about this. I read the trigger warnings. I've read Haunting and Hunting Adeline, so I know how these books are. That was nothing that was like a shock, but there were just some things mentioned in this, and I'm gonna keep this spoiler free, but her background with her, which this is all said right in the beginning, is her mom and dad are both drug addicts, and she works, and pretty much her working, all her money goes towards their drugs, and her dad is very abusive, which these are all things that like happened in the past, and they don't really go into detail with that. So it's all off page, but there is like an encounter with him at one point that just like some of the things that he said just had me honestly mildly nauseous. Like I know that it's all fake. I know that, but like my brain just couldn't get past it, and I kind of struggled to get through it a little bit. I debated on DNFing it, and that has nothing to do with her writing at all. Her writing is really good, and I definitely find myself like feeling connected to the characters to the extent of like it's hard to read it because of that, if that makes sense. So that has nothing to do with her writing on me DNFing and like the book being bad. It's just I couldn't find myself to really be able to stomach some of the things that it talks about. So before you do pick this up, definitely check the trigger warnings, because this isn't going to be for everybody at all. But some of the other things is it does jump from present day to like past, and it'll tell you. I like how she did it because on like the header it makes it really easy to follow along. On like the title of each chapter, it says whether it's present day or like past, and it'll tell you how many years in the past that chapter is going to be talking, which I do really enjoy that, because I have read a couple books where it jumps back and forth, but it doesn't really give you like, oh, it's been X amount of years since then, and so then I get confused. So I do appreciate that. I'm just getting to like a subplot of romance in this, which has been interesting. Other than that, I'm enjoying the book overall, but with that being said, now that we're at 62%, let's try and finish this today. Okay, so I just finished Where's Molly by H.D. Carlton, and I don't really know what I want to rate it, because I didn't think that the book was bad at all. I thought that the writing was good. I thought the dynamic between the characters was good for this type of book. I have not read a ton of dark romances. Haunting Adeline and Hunting Adeline are pretty much the extent of it. And so for me to rate it, it's hard for me to rate it because like it's not something that I fully clicked with. So I'm not really gonna knock the rating down because it's not the book's fault, you know? It just feels hard to rate. I feel like I would probably give this like a 3.75 star because for what it was good. There were just quite a few parts in here that were a little bit harder for me to read and get through, and I feel like a lot of that has to do with, even though this is fake, knowing that this kind of stuff happens just utterly disgusts me. Like, so it just made it hard to get through some of the parts that they talk about. There's not really a lot that goes on page. A lot of it is stuff that is off page and is just briefly mentioned. But like I said in my last update, there was just like one conversation that she had with her dad that really was hard for me to get through. And then later on in the book, I really enjoyed like the first half of this book because you're getting like the present day, and then you're getting like past tense. So you're getting the background and you're not getting everything explained to you all at once. So I liked kind of that back and forth and slowly getting her backstory as to like how she ended up where she's at now. But then I felt like the last 50% of the book, it focused more on like the romance portion of it. And I didn't mind it at first, but then there is like one scene where I was a little bit like, about it, because like after everything that she's gone through, I don't know. I really don't know how to describe it in words. It didn't lower the rating. If you like dark romances, I 100% recommend this. If you like Haunting and Hunting Adeline, I recommend this. It's like a nice little short dark romance. You obviously aren't super in depth with everything because it is only like 220 pages on the Kindle, but it's still enough to where you're getting the background story, you get invested in the characters. Another thing is there's like the very last page of this, the ending to it. Someone says something that's from, I don't even know which book it is because I read them so long ago that I can't remember. But now I need to know where that correlates from, but I don't want to go back and read both books. So if anybody has read this, that last sentence, the very last sentence in this book, please DM me and tell me if you know where that's from in which book. I don't know why I need to know, and I don't know why I need 2 and 2 put together, but I do. I need to know at one point in one of those books, did that happen? And if it didn't happen, does that mean we're getting more books? I don't really know. I'm curious. I'm interested. Overall, I'm going to give this a 3.75 stars. And if you liked the other 2 books, I would recommend picking this up because it was good. It was a nice little add-on. Getting a side character POV. I liked it. Interesting. I do like H.D. Carlton's writing. I do want to read Satan's Affair also to get more from, I want more of like a backstory on Sibby. She was an interesting character. And I still have not read that one. So that's another thing. If you have read Satan's Affair, of course, spoiler free, but what did you think about it? Do you think it's worth reading? Did you like it? Was it too much? She's such an interesting character that I don't really know where her story would go. So, yeah. I think we're gonna go back to Bride. I am on chapter 3 of that. I'm 14% of the way through, so I think that's what we're gonna go to next. Onwards. One of the things that I love about this book is that at the start of every chapter, there's like you get like a little insight into what the main male character is thinking. And some of them just have me kicking my feet. They're so cute. This book is nothing like groundbreaking, overwhelmingly amazing, like perfect piece of work, but it gives me like 15-year-old me staying up late to read Wattpad books, okay? And I'm not saying that, like, I don't know how to describe this. I love Allie Hazelwood's writing. It has me kicking my feet and giggling in, like, the stupidest moments. There's, like, nothing even, like, crazy happening. But they'll say, like, one line. I don't know. There's nothing overwhelmingly, like, amazing about this book, but the feelings that I get reading it are making me enjoy it that much more. I feel like I'm describing this really bad, and I apologize for that, but I don't know how else to describe it. So, yeah. That's, like, my only update right now. I haven't even gotten to, like, the romance portion of it really yet. And I'm at page 183, 46%. And there's nothing even, like, romantic that's happened yet. But, yeah. I want to read as much as I can today because I do want to get to, like, that romance portion of it. So I'm gonna go have lunch and then start reading again. And then I'll update you again later. Okay. Apologies for the lighting. It's 10:30 at night. But anyway. I had to do my update. I just finished Bride. I was hoping to be done with this earlier today, but I was editing my video that's going to go up tomorrow. And I was literally done. I was doing my last final view of it before exporting it, and my computer said that it had 40% left in the battery and randomly died. It went from 40 to 5% in literally 30 seconds and died on me. And when I started my computer back up after charging it, my video was gone. And I had edited it for probably like an hour and a half. So I had to restart that whole thing, re-edit the whole video. No, my video's not I didn't even have to do that. It's Thursday. I was thinking it was Friday. I was thinking my video was going up tomorrow. Why do I do this to myself? Anyway, that's a sidetrack we don't need to talk about. This is getting 4.25 stars. I ate this book up. I loved this book. If you haven't read this book, I highly recommend it. Even if you think you're not going to like it after reading the synopsis. When you see vampire and werewolves and you're like, why would I read that? You should read it. Okay? It's Allie Hazelwood. I mean, come on. The writing was great. It was so fast-paced, so easy to just binge. There wasn't a ton of there wasn't a bunch of info dumping. There was no elaborate world building. I didn't feel confused in one moment. It was just a fun, cute romance. Paranormal romance, okay? You need to pick it up. At one point, I was getting mad. I was like, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. But that changed. There was definitely surprisingly, there were still plot twists that I wasn't expecting, which added to it that much more. Like, my mind wasn't even remotely going in that direction, and then all of a sudden I was like, what? Also, the ending to this, there's a certain two characters in here. I need a book. I need their book now, please. Don't let this end here, okay? Just don't let it end here. The way that it ended leads me to believe she fully has the intention of writing another story, not focused on these two characters, on different characters, and I need that book pronto. Please and thank you. That was a roller coaster, and I loved it, and I need more. And I think this might have spiraled me into becoming unhinged this month and not following my TBR, even though I literally just recorded my video earlier talking about how this month I was going to stick to my TBR. My TBR is already picked out. Pretty sure this is about to spiral me off the deep end and make me pick up Ice Planet Barbarians, even though I swore I was never going to pick that book up because I need more monster romances. But I think this might have spiraled me into a new genre that I didn't even know that I'd like. Anyway, 4.25 stars. I recommend it. And with that being said, I hit my goal. I wanted to finish 2 books by Thursday with you guys in this video, and I managed to do that. For once in my life, I actually finished the reading goal that I set for myself. So let's hope I keep doing that. This has been an interesting reading vlog because I read 2 pretty different books. Both of them turned out to be ones that I liked. I'm very happy with the outcome of it. They are both books that I typically wouldn't necessarily gravitate towards, and I'm glad that I did. And I think now I'm going to go look into Ice Planet Barbarians. So that's all that I have for this vlog. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you've read this, please tell me your thoughts on it. Naturally spoiler free, because this was a spoiler-free reading vlog. But I want to hear what you guys thought of this book. Did you like it? Did you not like it? If you didn't like it, what were some of the things that kind of pushed you away from it? But as always, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date with all my future videos. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!